Okay, we are up. I think we're online. Okay, third time's the charm. So it just took me 3 attempts to get onto Facebook, which I don't know why. But I think we are now live. Okay. So hi everybody. My name is Michelle. I'm with Michelle's Stamping Craft Corner. And I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in New York. And I am going to actually bring you March's Paper Pumpkin, which is right here. I've been a demonstrator for a while now. I originally started in 2012. Then I decided to stop being a demonstrator just for family reasons and things like that. And then I rejoined back up in 2016 and I've been going since then. I haven't been doing videos in a while, but I am back. And today I'm going to show you the March Paper Pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to get rid of this. There we go. Okay. It's been a while since I've done this, so bear with me today. Perfect. Okay, so this is the Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is a subscription that comes to your mailbox straight from Stampin' Up! Every month. Costs about $22, but the nice thing about Paper Pumpkin is that it gives you everything that you will need to make the project in the box. The first Paper Pumpkin you receive is a acrylic block like this. It's kind of hard to see. I'll flip it over and show you. Is that a little better? That you get it with just the first subscription. So you'll get this with your first box. And then I decided, normally I would prep everything. I decided today that I would just go straight from start to finish, opening the box with you and showing you how easy it is to do it. So let's get started. All right, so this is and it's a cute box, isn't it? And it is Paper Pumpkin's 10th anniversary. So when you open the box, this is what it's going to look like. And now you can keep the box for other things if you wanted to. It comes with a Stampin' Spot. Now, the Stampin' Spot is a small little ink pad. I tend to use these to give to my customers or my downline for little things, little prizes and things like that. So I am going to put this aside and I am going to grab my regular size stamp pad, which is the same color. Okay, so you get your stamp pad. In this one, you actually get 2 sets of stamps. These are To a Wonderful Mother. Here's To Another Year of Growth, Birthday, To an Incredible Woman, Sending All Our Love. What does that one say? You dressed the best. No, what does that say? You deserve the best, and Mother's Day. And then this one says Happy. And then it looks like you can make little plants in a planter. To call you friend, Easter, spring, some little decorations, and anniversary. So this stamp set has a lot of different stamps and different things. Mother's Day, friendship, which is great about Paper Pumpkin. So you can not only use the stamps again for something else, but you kind of get a variety as well, which is nice. So we are celebrating 10 years of Stamping Up Paper Pumpkin. And it says celebrating 10 years of growth, and they're thanking us for being subscribers. And this is the card that they created. And then you can subscribe to Paper Pumpkin by clicking on this QR code. And that will bring you, or you can just contact me and I can get you set up also as well. And this way, when you become a customer of mine through Paper Pumpkin, I can help you out with everything that you need. So if you are interested in doing Paper Pumpkin, let me know. So Paper Pumpkin always comes wrapped up in this little cellophane, which is really cute. Or tissue paper, I should say. It's not really cellophane. So we open it up like a present. And inside is the kit. And this says 10 Years of Growth Paper Pumpkin Kit 2023. So we're just going to move the box out of the way. I am going to open this and show you everything that comes inside. Now when you are opening this, some things will fall out like they just did to me. So the first thing that you're going to get is a set of instructions. So with this paper pumpkin, if you open it up, you see its color instructions. And it shows you step by step how to make each item or each project. In this case, you're going to be making, looks like 1, 2, 3 cards of 3 different styles. So you'll be making 9 cards total. Okay. They do put a piece of cardboard in here. You can either toss that or save it for a project. They give you these happy, and they are punch. You can punch them out, so you don't have to cut them. They give us some floral pieces. You can see those are punched out too. Some more. They give you the card bases. So here are our card bases. This is card base number 1. You guys see that? Okay, that's card base number 1. This is card base number 2. And this is card base number 3. Then you also get some more. These look like tags and little flower pots. You get some of these tags. Again, they're all punched out for you. All you have to do is pull them out. And you're also going to get coordinating envelopes for your cards. So you'll get 9 envelopes. You'll also get dimensionals, and these are the little dimensionals. It's kind of hard to see. Whoop. Give everybody whiplash. For some reason my lighting is not good today. Let's see. Does that get a little better? Okay, you're going to get the dimensionals. And then you're also going to get your glue dots. This is your adhesive. And again, like I said, if it's your first paper pumpkin order, you will get your block as well. Okay? All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up our directions, and we're going to make the first card. Now, the first card tells you that you're going to need your ink, obviously. You deserve the best on your block. So we're going to take that stamp off. Now, these are photopolymer stamps, meaning that they're clear and that you can see right inside and through it. So when I'm stamping, it makes it a little bit easier to see. Then I also like to use a mat for these to lean on something. Stampin' Up! Does sell it, but you could use anything that you really wanted to. I am going to use this mat that Stampin' Up! Sells to help give it a little bit more pressure when I'm stamping, and I like to put something on there so it doesn't get all over my pad. I'll put that to the side. Okay, so we're going to pull out these cards. Then it also tells me that I need 1 of each of these. So I'm going to grab my pieces. Now, if I was doing this at home, I would most likely pull out these pieces and punch them all out so I have them. So, and as you can see, I have all these here, and I can punch them out fairly quickly. Okay. And they gave you 3 of those, which I will need 1, so I'm going to put these others aside. I'm also going to need the little flower pots. I'm going to need one of these. So I'm going to punch that out. And I'm going to need one of the flower pots. Here it is. It's the pink one, so I'm going to need one of these. And I'm going to need the little tag that has the diagonal corners on them. So I'm going to punch that one out as well. Okay. So I have that piece, I have that piece, and I need one of these big ones. So I'm just going to punch these other ones out real quick. Okay. All right, so we're ready to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our card and the cards are already pre-folded and scored. So actually, they're not folded, excuse me, they're pre-scored, so you just got to fold it. I like to take my bone folder and just kind of go over the edge to make sure it's nice and crisp. Okay, so here you have your card. So you can see this is what we're working with. Okay, you can see that. Now all these little images have already been on there for us, so we're really just kind of filling in this area here with these things here, and you can see it's all there for you. Okay, these little dots are for the glue dots, where they want you to put these little glue dots, and the Stampin' Dimensionals go on the tag. All right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ink pad. Now again, you're going to be getting a Stampin'. Whoops. Move back out a little bit more now. You're going to get a Stampin' Spot. I am using my larger ink pad for this, so I'm going to open that up. I'm going to take my You Deserve the Best and my little white piece, my little tag. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now, when you're stamping, I always tell my customers, try to find a block that fits close to the size of the stamp. So you can see here, now that it's inked up, you can see it a little bit better. This is my stamp, but you see how much block I have? So I can, it's very easy for me to get ink on here. So as you become, you know, more of a stamper, or you get more materials and things like that, you might want to try to get some different acrylic blocks, different sizes. But for the sake of Paper Pumpkin, you will get this one. So just be careful when you're doing it. All right, I'm going to position this. Now, as you can see, and of course my light is going to shine in everybody's face, right? You can see right down there, so I can see exactly where I'm going to stamp it. Just going to get a little bit of pressure. I'm going to try not to rock my stamp. And perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put the stamp aside. I'm going to put this aside. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my plant pieces and my little pot. Grab my dimensionals. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put my little dimensionals on here. Now, I like to use a paper piercing tool just to get them up, but you don't need it if you want to. Now, this told me I was going to use glue dots, but I think I want to pop this up because it is going to be, the plant pieces are going to fall underneath it. And that's the other nice thing about Stampin' Up. You guys can do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to take my pieces here, and I'm going to kind of position them where I think I want them. Now, as you're positioning these, if you feel like that's too much, you can always take one away. But I think it definitely gives it some dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these pieces, Move my card aside. I'm going to flip these over. And I'm going to put some glue dots on my pieces. Now, again, you don't need to go crazy with this. If you just kind of put the glue dots on, I'm going to put them on every other one to kind of keep them in place. The glue dots do have adhesive on both sides. So what you do is once you get your glue dots on and you're happy with where they are, you're going to peel the backing off. And again, this is where I use my paper piercing tool because these are little dots and sometimes it is easier to use that, but I will show you that it's just as easy to use your fingers as well. Okay, so the last one. Okay, so you can kind of see that they have the little glue dots on there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my paper piercing tool and pull off that back. And it's just as easy to do it with my fingers if I had to. So I could just take this and pull it off. So you see, you don't necessarily need the paper piercing tool. Now, sometimes when I am working white on white, I kind of try to put it on something so I can see. Yep, I got all those off. Let's do this next one. Gotta pull them off. And as you can see, sometimes they don't want to come off. So you just be a little patient. We'll do the last one. Just pull these right off. I do like the fact that the paper piercing tool kind of grabs them. And you can see, I know it's hard to see, but I have 3 on there, and then I kind of throw them out so they're not all over my desk. But then again, I guess if you're not making a mess, you're not having fun, right? All right, so those 3 are done, so I can move that out of the way, move this out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to bring my card back in. And then I'm just going to position those again where I want them. All right, so I think I'm going to go here. Just give that a little push down. Then I'm going to take this one. And I'm kind of going to go this way. And don't be afraid to layer, you know, don't be afraid to manipulate it. You can pull these a little bit. You know, there is a little bit of flexibility here. I'm just going to stick that one like right in the center there. Okay, so I have my 3 on there. Then I'm going to take my little flower pot and see how it's going to sit right there. So I'm going to take the back of these off as well. Again, you can use your paper piercing tool for this, but these are a little bit bigger. I'm going to put... And you can see those, they come right off. So, and you can get some of that off of the extra glue off of them as well if you need to reposition it like I just did. I kind of want to move that over a little bit. So it's kind of centered. And it's okay, I'm covering those books, but that's okay. Cute, right? Now, since I popped this up, I may not pop this up. If you're planning on mailing your cards, which a lot of us, you know, do, it does add a little bit of bulk, so sometimes it is a little bit more expensive to mail a card that has a lot of pop dots or dimensionals on it. Now, on this one, You can see they kind of put it off to the side, but I really didn't like it there. I kind of felt like it almost blends in with the rest of the white. Even though it's cute there, it almost looks like the shelf. But I'm just going to move mine over a little bit. I think it's cuter on the plant. But again, this is your card. You're going to make that decision. And I did lie. I'm going to actually pop dot it. I think it's going to look cute pop dotted on those flower stems there. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the backings off of these dimensionals, mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put that there. And you have your, oops, sorry, you have your first card. Now, this is going to take you a lot faster than I did because I am showing everybody and taking the time to give you tips and tricks and things like that. But your first card is complete, and then you can do whatever you want to inside. And don't forget, you have those matching envelopes as well. Okay, so that's the first card. So we're going to, isn't that cute, matching envelope? So we're going to put that aside. We're going to move on to our card number 2. Our card number 2 is going to be this card right here. To an incredible woman. So this could be a great Mother's Day card. This could be, you know, to a close friend. And don't forget, you do have 2 more of that first card, which I'm not going to do for the sake of time, but you do have the ability to make 3 of each, and you can also change it up. So that's what's great about the paper pumpkin. All right, so I'm going to go to our next card. I'm going to grab one of those. Again, it's already scored for me, so I'm just going to take out my paper piercing tool. Not my paper piercing tool, what am I talking about? My bone folder, and score that so it's nice and flat. And then in this one, I already have my window. Okay, I already have my window. In this one, I need one of these. So I'm going to take one of these out. I need one of those, these. And I also need one of those green ones that I had before. So I'll grab that. You can see how easy it is to pop these out. And I'm going to grab this one. Okay, so I need those 3 pieces right there. I'm going to need one of those chunkier ones, the thicker ones. So I'm going to grab this one right here. And they do give you an extra one of each piece. So if you do mess up or if you accidentally break it or whatever the case may be, they do give you another one. But always remember, if you're stamping, you always have the other side if you mess it up. So don't feel like you need to be a perfectionist, because you can always either cover it or get another piece. So I need that. Then I need the purple flower pot. So I'm going to grab that purple flower pot. And it looks like we need a little piece, which is this one right here. So I'm just going to grab that. So that should give us all of our pieces. Again, we're going to do it in the pink. So I'm going to stamp first. I'm going to grab my mat again. I'm going to switch out my stamp. And again, there's so many different stamps on here. You don't have to use what they had. I am actually, I think I'm going to change my sentiment. I think I'm going to say sending all our love. I think I'm going to do that one instead of you're an incredible woman, because I really don't, I can't think of anybody that I would have something to send that to right now. So I think I am going to do this one. So I'm going to put my stamp on my acrylic block, make sure it's straight. I'm going to ink that up. And then I'm going to put this right in the center. When you're stamping with the acrylic blocks, which is nice, oh, you can see I actually got a little ink here. doesn't look like I'm completely inked up here. So I'm going to bring my ink pad back in again, and I'm going to try to get it. There you go. So you can see a little bit better that it's more inked. You can actually see that there's some ink on the side here, and I got more ink over here. So when I stamp, I just want to make sure that I don't get it on my piece, or I could always take a baby wipe or something and wipe it down, a tissue or wipe it down. So I'm going to actually center this, push down a little bit, and there I have sending all our love. Get this out of the way. All right, so I have all my pieces here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these over again and just add some little glue dots. Grab my paper piercing tool. And again, when you're doing this, like I said, you don't have to put it on every leaf. You do what makes you comfortable. Oops. Pick that one up. You could also use adhesive of your choice. You could use a tape runner. If you have the Tombow, you could use liquid glue. I would just be very careful that you use very little because it is smaller pieces. But I know some people are very partial to their liquid glue, so that's okay. If you have a glue stick at home and that's what you're using, I would be very sparingly on the glue stick as well. Okay, so I have all those. I'm going to add one to a couple here to this one. I think I'm actually just going to add, two. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to pop dot this up. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to add, well, I'll put one in the center too. 3 dimensionals. Now they give you, like here, their suggestion to you was to put a dimensional here, 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 and here. I usually like to go through here so the middle doesn't sink when I put it on the cardstock. And then here they were showing you what little, why can't I think of the word? Glue dots, sorry, been a long day. Glue dots are on there. And I just realized I don't have a piece, do I? Here, it's a little hard to see, but there's a little white flower pot, and that's where that little piece goes. So I need to grab the little white flower pots. Let's pop one out of there. And then I'm going to put glue dots on here, both of these. So I'm going to put like 3 glue dots on there. And this one I can probably get away with 2. Okay. So there you go on that one. So let's bring our card back in and we will start assembling this. So as you can see in my directions, it tells me that I'm going to put this piece in the background, this lighter green piece in the background, and this one goes on top. And again, you can do this however you want. I'm going to quickly remove the backings of these. Now, of course, I didn't throw those away because I was doing it quickly, but so I'm going to put that down right about there. Just kind of give it a little pat down. I'm going to grab my lighter one. I'm going to remove the backings on here. Now, on these, I would be very careful when you're removing the backings. This is a flimsier piece because it is so thin in the center. So we're going to put that one right about there. And if you find a piece isn't sticking down, like, you know, you can always add another glue dot underneath it, but I think that's okay. And I'm going to add this last one, take those backings off. this one is kind of going to go in the middle. And I'm using this as my guide to kind of line them up a little bit. I'm going to grab that little purple vase or plant holder or whatever you want to call it. Flower pot. And I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to put it like on the edge of the window, so it's kind of like sitting on the windowsill there. Try to make that straight. And then I'm going to take this little white one and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to put it right next to it. And this one actually has, it's hard to see with the camera, it actually has little lines that are not perforated, but what's the word I'm looking for? Raised. Okay, they have little lines that are raised. And I'm going to add this one on. This little one reminds me of the flower cactus plants. My mother had one, the Christmas cactuses. And these were the colors of it. Kind of reminds me of that. A couple of Christmases ago, my sister put the cactus outside on the porch, which is not a heated room all year round, and the poor thing died, and I was so upset because it was the last thing we had from our mother. Our mother passed away about 14 years ago, and I was so afraid my dad, who was still alive at the time, was going to get so mad that this Christmas cactus that we've had for like 40 years died. But luckily my dad didn't really seem to, he was upset, but he wasn't too upset, so we laugh about it. But we wound up going out and getting him another one, and now it sits in my other sister's house in the window, so we're going to try not to kill that one, but something to remember by. But that's what this makes me think of, is this Christmas cactus. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is add our sentiment. Now they have this one right about here, but I feel like it covers it. I'm always, you know, this silly thing about these projects is you so have to make it your own. I mean, Stampin' Up! Gives you ideas, and even when I do my card classes and things like that, I always give people ideas, but I always tell them, do what makes you happy. Be creative. You know, you don't have to follow the directions. As you know, you don't have to follow the directions all the time. As a school teacher, I'm always telling my kids, follow the directions. But this is the one time where I feel like you can definitely go out of the side, oops, out of the camera. You definitely go outside of the box. So there's your second card. Okay. And again, you have your matching envelope. And you have two other cards that you can make or create something totally different with. So that's card number 2. And the last card that we're going to do is this one. And that has the happy and that large tag. And this is a birthday card, which is actually kind of cool. We always need birthday cards, right? So we're going to pull those materials together. So I'm going to grab that card base, which is this one right here. I'm going to grab one of those. Again, it's already pre-folded for me, so I'm going to fold it on that score line. Use my bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, you could use the back of a scissor. You could just use a ruler. I've even had people use a letter opener to do it. So, you know, use what you have at home. So we're going to need that. We're going to need one of these large tags. And this card is actually going to go this way. We've been doing all of them portrait, but this one we're going to do horizontally. So that's going to go there. We're going to need one of those happies. So we're going to punch the gold happy out. We're going to need a large white flower pot, which I think I punched one out somewhere, but let me grab another one. All right, we're going to need one of those. We're going to need one of these little rectangle tags. So I'm going to punch that out. And we need okay, so our flowers are going to be these two flowers, which are these two on here. So we're going to punch those out. Then we're going to need the two flowers that go in here. So those are these. So we're going to punch two of the, actually, nope, it's the center one. See, it's the bigger one. So we're going to punch the center one out. And I think we got all of our pieces. Okay, so what we're going to do is, move this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to put dimensionals on the back of here. Now, again, they show you that you can do it this, let's get you in frame. Like you do it this way, or I usually like to go down the center. But this is a very big piece, so I think I'm going to do it this way just to make sure all sides are staying up and they don't kind of sink on your card. You could also use larger dimensionals on here, but since they provided us with the minis, which is great, you could even use more if you wanted to. They are kind of small for this project, but that's okay. So I may kind of put a little bit more on here than they're saying, just to keep the center kind of popped up as well. Okay, so that's that. The happy is going to get glue dots. Let me grab those. And again, you're going to kind of just strategically place them. I would definitely put one down here just so it keeps that bottom piece down. Now with this happy, it is a little small in some areas. You could always feel free to cut the dimensionals in half if you wanted to. I'm just going to kind of keep to the thicker sides. And now if it does show through, which like here it does a little bit, when you take it off you could always fold it over to make sure that it's all good. I'm going to take this one. Oh, can you hear my dog and my sister's dog going at it? Okay, so we're going to flip these two pieces over and this one over. We're going to add dimensional glue dots on here. Just add a few. This one's actually a little bit easier because the pieces are a little bit thicker, so. Okay, I think that one's good. And then we have these two little pieces left. And again, I'm not putting them on every leaf. If you feel you need to go back and add more, you can always do that. All right, then we're going to need glue dots on here. I'm probably going to use 4 on here. Maybe 3. And then we're going to pop dot up this, but I need to stamp on that first. So we're going to find the birthday stamp. I'm going to take the stamp off this block. I'm going to find the birthday one. Okay, we're going to center that right in the middle. Now, what you could do with this, before when I was talking about using a block that's about the size of the stamp, you could bring this down here at the edge of the stamp and then just tap the edge so you're not, trying to get the center of the stamp, which may be a little bit easier. Okay, let's bring my mat back in. Now this one is a lot bigger than this stamp, so I am going to stamp that in the center. Oops. See? Stamping has two sides. Every piece of paper has two sides. Okay. Trying not to get my head in the camera, but this is a teeny tiny stamp. Alright, so you could do it right in the center. And now, as I was doing this, remember I told you that you get an extra one? I'm going to pull one of those extra ones out. I'm going to ink this up again. And I'm kind of wondering if I bring that all the way to one side, I'm going to bring it to the right side, almost like a right justification for those of you that type. And I'm just kind of thinking of tucking it in maybe and see if it looks different. So we'll see. Kind of don't like the way that B came out, but all right, for sake of time, we'll keep going. All right, so let's assemble our card. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. I like to close up my stamp pad when I'm done with my ink because I usually wind up wearing it. Okay, so let's bring our card in. Lots of pieces to this one. All right, so again, all of our cards were in, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, all of our cards before both the other cards were in the portrait. We're going to turn this horizontally, like a horizon. We're going to take this first. This was our big piece. I'm going to remove the dimensionals off of the backings of the dimensionals off of here. Now, the one thing I do suggest you do, and I didn't do this before when I put them on, make sure they're on there pretty good, because when you pull the backings off, sometimes they pull up. So you want to make sure they're, they're on there well. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to take this, and I am going to put that right in the center. Okay, next I'm going to need my pieces here. One, and the other reason why we popped this up is because this is going, these little pieces right here are going to go behind this. And now I could put these on first, but I'm very visual, so I like to see where they're going to go. So I can watch it, or see it better, I should say. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Take the backings off the dimensionals. Well, not the dimensionals, the glue dots. And this one is going to kind of go right about here. Tuck that in. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Then we're going to do our big green piece. And that looks like they kind of angled it this way so you could see that purple piece. So I think that's what we're going to do as well. Take these off. I think I found my groove again with these glue dots. Sometimes they just don't want to work with you, do they? Alright, oops, stray one, run away. Alright, that's going to go like that. Now, I just realized I may not want them on the top like that. Alright, I'm not going to press this down as much because it is pop dotted here and then it kind of looks funny. So I actually may want to take this glue dot off. I'm just going to take my paper piercing tool and just kind of pull at it. It comes right off. Okay. And now it kind of, I like that better, so much better. Okay. All right. Next is going to be, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit straighter because it's got to go in the pot. There we go, much better. All right, where's my pot? All right, so I'm going to take the backings off the glue dots and put this pot on here. I am actually going to pop dot, take a dimensional, sorry. And I am going to put, I'm going to take two, oh, let's see. If I take two of these and put them on the very bottom of the pot, let's see how that looks. Because you already put dimensionals on that green piece, and it kind of almost, oh yes, much better. Okay, because now you have the same distance underneath here as you do here, and it doesn't look like it's slanting, it's more flat. So to me, that looks more appealing to the eye. All right, so the last two pieces that we're going to put together are the happy. Makes sense if it's upright. Now, on here, they made sure that the happy with the Y went on the pot. You don't have to do that. I had moved mine over a little bit, so I'm actually going to kind of put the two P's on there. If you wanted to center this piece a little bit more, you can kind of do it off. Kind of like that. All right, so we're going to take the backings off of here. And again, like I said, this is obviously going to go faster when you're doing it yourself. You can take your time, enjoy yourself. I'm obviously talking a lot and trying to give you tips as we go along. So I'm gonna try to center this as best I can. Let's see. I don't know, I kind of like the two P's on there. I think I'm going with that. Okay, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with that one. All right, now, before I told you that they had the birthday like this, so we stamped it in the center like they did, but then I right justificated this, and it's not straight, I can tell you that. But I think I'm going to try, see what it looks like if I tuck it in. So I'm just going to cut this off a little bit and see what happens if I add it like a tag. I'm not crazy about the white on white, so I think that's my biggest problem. But since I actually put the two birthday pieces together, what if I did something like this? Okay, so here I go changing things again. You could totally do it however you like it. If you like it and you just want to do all the cards the way the Stampin' Up! Did, you could totally add it on and be done. Because you have an extra one of these, I'm actually going to take this. I'm going to take a couple of glue dots. And I'm going to add this pink piece to the white. I feel like there's a lot of white here. And again, Stampin' Up! Designed it. They have wonderful, designers and artists. I just kind of like a little bit of color, especially for a birthday card. Now, I might take these up and put it down. Okay, so because my fat hands are in the way. All right, what I did was I picked up the P's and I put that pink piece down. Okay. So I'm going to pick up the happy. I'm going to put this down in the center with a couple of glue dots. I'm going to bring this back down. And then I'm actually going to take the birthday and I'm going to trim this on both sides so it's a smaller piece. And I'm going to glue it on here where it says happy and with those P's. So it kind of gives us a little bit more of color and it doesn't get lost in all that white. So I'm going to put two dots of the glue dots on there. And I'm going to add this right here. And there's your third card. So you have 3 quick cards. And again, like I said, you get all the materials that you want to make them. And as you can see, I've kind of made them my own and changed them up a little bit. Don't forget you have the matching envelopes. And we have, can I get them all in the frame? Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. And we have this one as well. So those are the 3 cards that come with the March Paper Pumpkin Kit. If you're interested in Paper Pumpkin, please let me know and I can get you subscribed. You can either do a yearly subscription, you could do 6 months, you could do month to month. It costs about $22 a month. Or if you aren't interested in either becoming a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, you do get a 15 and 20% discount. Or if you are interested in just getting a catalog, you can always contact me for that as well. I'd love to be a demonstrator if you are looking to get creative and make your own cards and scrapbooks and 3D boxes, all kinds of fun things. So see if I can get us back up in. All right, so again, it's been a while since I've done this, so I don't remember too well. But I want to thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Bye.